All right, what up, y'all? Um, I would just like to take a moment to make this little um, documentary on dealing with depression. Well, it's not actually a documentary. It's just telling from what I've been through and how I dealt with my depression. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Anyway, most of y'all that know me personally probably, see me laughing and talking and just being cheerful all the time. But behind the laughter, the talking, and the cheerfulness, um, came a lot of pain. Um, my own grandmother don't even know this, but I've been depressed since I lost my mom back in 2004. That's when the depression started. I had all types of thoughts, suicidal thoughts, and just thought about harming myself and taking myself just just taking myself out. I was just like, I'm done. The hell with it. When I lost my mom, first off, I thought that I was gonna be put in a foster home. So that's one of the main things that started it. But of course, I didn't, or I wasn't put in a foster home. And then I think my depression kind of escalated as I got older and dealt with relationships. And I just didn't know how to deal with relationships. My mom never was married. So I didn't have that father figure in the house. Um, well, I take that back. I had my grandfather, but uh, that kind of failed as well because he had his stroke in 2010. That was actually the first day. Literally, I'm not joking. That was literally the first day I started going to high school. My ninth grade year, the first day back in school. That's when he had his stroke, which was that was just so hard for me to deal with because now, I was still young at the time. I still needed a male role model. So now I'm looking like, okay, well, who is gonna be that male role model for me now? You know? Um, so after my mom passed, my granddad had his stroke. That's just made me more and more depressed. I thought that by hanging with a lot of people, it would bring me out of my depression, but it only sunk me deeper into my depression because I was hanging with the wrong people in the first place. I hung with these group of guys, and these were some very, very judgmental type of guys. Um, Now I was the oldest out of all of them, but at the same time, they didn't pay me any attention. I guess because they was bigger than me, and by bigger I mean they weighed more than I did. So they automatically thought that they could overpower me. You know. Um, so anyway, as I was hanging with them, I noticed that they started to pick up some. I noticed that they started to pick up some bad habits that I didn't really agree with. You know, smoking, drinking, all the things that I was taught not to do. Um, but anyway, I was hanging with them, and when I discovered that they just didn't really give a damn about what I said, I just stopped fucking with them. That's what made me develop an antisocial personality. That's what made me just cut myself off from people because as I got older, I just realized that people gonna do what they want to do. You can't control what somebody else do. You is only responsible for your actions and how you react to the situation. I just thought that at the time, by me being the oldest, I thought that I could have a positive influence on them, but I guess I was wrong. Um, but yeah, that sunk me deeper into my depression. When I found out that they was just trying to use me for transportation purposes, since I was the only one with the vehicle at the time. They thought that they could use DJ Old School. They could use me to, get them from point A to point B. And I didn't have the heart to tell them no. That's a blessing and a curse when you can't say no to people. I guess because I thought that if I said yes, then the time would come where I needed a favor from them and they would treat me the same way. Um, but getting back to my depression, it it became harder, especially as an adult, to differentiate. That means tell the difference between fake people and real people. It became harder to just to just tell the difference. You know, I just started keeping to myself more and more because nowadays the people who you think is your friends is not really your friends, and it just made me wanna just keep to myself. Nothing against nobody else. I have nothing against my so-called friends. I wish them the best. I don't have no hatred towards them. But I'd be lying if I said that they didn't play a part in my depression. Which also made me have low self-esteem. I Once I stopped hanging with them, I thought that everything would be all right. But my social life began to crumble. Like I said, antisocial. So naturally, that would happen. Um, my social life began to crumble. I kind of just isolated myself from everybody because I didn't know who was real and who was fake. You know, well, I knew who was fake. It was just I was having a hard time finding out who was real. Um, I guess I said all that to say this: if you is dealing with depression, then don't be like me. You know, Sometimes I would get so depressed I literally thought about killing myself. Um, I literally thought about just doing some type of bodily harm to myself. Old people used to tell me, an idle, an idle mind is the devil's playground, which is true because when I'm just alone in my room like I am now, and I just get to thinking about a lot of shit and thinking about how much pain and how much hurt I done been through, it really makes me question, why am I still here? You know, I know they say that God put everybody here for a purpose. I guess I'm still trying to figure out what's mine. But if you was dealing with depression, it's okay to find somebody to talk to, somebody that you trust, you know. And all that played a part in my trust issues as well. I had a really hard time trusting people. I just didn't know how to. It's hard to know who you could trust and who you can't, you know, especially after I got through fooling with the guys that I was fooling with or hanging with the guys I was hanging with. It's real funny because see, my grandma, she tried to tell me, she was like, I got a bad feeling about those guys. I was so young and naive at the time. I was like, nah, grandma, they my friends, they cool, you know, they alright. I guess I had to see that shit for myself because I was very naive when I was younger. I wanted to be popular so bad. I guess I just ignored it. Everything my grandma was trying to tell me, I completely ignored it 100% because I didn't want to be the person I ended up being now. I didn't want to turn into this antisocial type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be young and, have fun, go out. You know what I'm saying? But eventually all that fun comes with a pretty heavy price. You know, um, it comes with a price. I mean, that was just something that my grandma she tried to warn me about, but I didn't listen. I had to see it for myself that the guys I was hanging with was no good. Um, so as far as my depression is now, I would have to say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to say it's at a 3. I'm not. I haven't really fully recovered from my depression. And looking back on it, I think, man, I'm so hot. And I don't mean that in a good way. It is literally burning up in here. But but yeah, I haven't fully recovered from my depression yet. Um, Now that I look back on it, being antisocial makes me even more depressed because that's a lonely life. Damn, is there a lonely life? And this is the first time that I'm admitting this to the world, and I think it's time I just came out with it. Being almost 23, and still trying to deal with these issues and all that type of stuff. It's really just complicated. I know everybody has issues that they is dealing with, but I'm just speaking about me specifically. My 23rd birthday is coming up on the 19th of February, and I really don't have no desire to celebrate it. Birthdays to me now is just another day. I really don't have no desire, no inspiration to celebrate my 23rd birthday. You know, I thought that antisocial lifestyle is what I wanted. Well, it is what I want. I take it back. It's definitely what I wanted. Hold on for just a minute. Jeez. All right. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I done already kept y'all 16 minutes, but I really just wanted to get that off my chest, about how I dealt with my depression, going through, having thoughts of suicide. Um, and to be honest, to this day, I hope y'all don't think I'm crazy because I'm not. But sometimes those thoughts just pop into your head, those suicidal thoughts. You know, it's just I don't know. It comes from stress. It comes from low self esteem, feeling like nobody gives a damn about you. All these negative thoughts pops into your head, and I had a hard time dealing with them as I was coming up. I had a hard time um, dealing with negative thoughts. It was very stressful. I didn't have nobody to talk to. Some of y'all might be saying, DJ, why don't you talk to your grandmother? If y'all knew my grandmother the way I know my grandmother, she's not the easiest person to talk to. She freaks out over the least little thing, so she would not be the best one to come to um, or to talk to. Um, but yeah, if you is dealing with depression and you need somebody to talk to, I'm pretty sure that there are centers for that type of thing. Or you could talk to your parents, your grandparents, or whoever. But I have yet to figure out how to appropriately deal with my depression. I have yet to figure out how to handle it, appropriately. I I thought that by coming on here and venting on YouTube, I thought that might help out a little bit. If y'all have any advice for me or any questions, feel free to comment on the video. I don't mind answering. Um, if y'all have anything y'all want to get off y'all chest, then feel free to comment or let me know, ask me questions, whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it's already 18 minutes too long. But yeah, though, I thank y'all for listening and God bless. Peace.